Today I'm going to solve a machine coding round of interview question, that is pagination. It's a very, 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 very famous interview question if you are giving your front-end interviews. Okay, so you should prepare it well. It has recently been asked in Swiggy as well as in Flipkart, and it has been asked in a lot of more companies because this is very famous question, right? In every other interview, I keep on seeing this question coming up, right? So prepare for it. If you are planning to give your front-end interviews, just prepare for it for sure, right? Now let us just solve this question. First thing, before even I start solving anything, or before you write any piece of code, the major mistake that I see students doing or candidates doing is they don't discuss the problem statement with the interviewer. Always, what I have seen is interviewer will say, okay, we will solve pagination, you have to build pagination. They start writing code. You never have to do this. I have said this in a lot of previous videos also, and I am saying this again and again. Please never start coding the moment you know the question. Always discuss it with an interviewer, with the interviewer. That shows maturity as a developer, right? If you are a mature, good developer, you should take a moment, think about the problem statement, ask good questions to the interviewer that will impress the interviewer. Okay, remember this word, right? Never ever do this, right? Always discuss with your interviewer, right? You can ask some questions like, where would I get the paginated data from? Is the API paginated? uh, do I have to implement some other features instead of pagination, right? Just set the expectations clear at the starting of the interview. Interviewer can think about pagination in a lot of other fashions, right? There can be a lot of different ways how you can implement pagination. So don't assume anything. Even if you assume anything, communicate it to the interviewer very well, right? Ask the interviewer, where will I get data from? Ask your interviewer, what if the data is not present? What if the API fails? What will happen? Ask these common questions before you start coding. Okay, so first 5 minutes should be spent in clarifying the problem statement. First thing, clarify the problem statement. I am focusing upon a lot. I am emphasizing on clarifying the problem statement a lot because this is really very important. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been talking about this so long. Okay, so now once you have clarified your problem statement, you know exactly what to do, then you begin coding. So the first question, if I had been given this question in my interview, and let me tell you, this has been asked to me also in an interview. Okay, and I'll show you the same solution that I would have done. I don't remember the exact solution that I did last time, but again, I'm coding right in front of you. I haven't practiced this problem before. I will code directly in front of you. If there are mistakes, you will see. If I get stuck into anywhere, I will see. I will not add a cut into the video. Okay, so you'll see me coding just like I would have coded in front of the interviewer. So let's get started. First thing I would have asked my interviewer is, where will I get data from? And most important source that I have already found out is dummy.json. You can just go to dummy.json and call their APIs. So basically they give you dummy APIs, right? So I already know this is a very famous website, dummyjson.com. It gives you a lot of APIs, right? You can just use it wherever. So you can just use their get all products API, right? This is a very simple API. This will get you the details of the products. Okay, so basically you will get an array of products, and it will give you, for each product, it will give you ID, title, description, and price and everything, right? So this is basically the important thing, right? Here it also gives you how many total number of items are there, skip and limit, right? I don't have to use all of it, so I am just skipping that. But important part over here that I see is I will only get 30 items. I don't need 30 items. I need dynamic, right? So I have to code my problem in such a way that my API should support any number of items that we get from the API, right? So that is what the problem statement according to the interviewer can be, right? See, let me take a moment and tell you, pagination can be front-end heavy also or back-end heavy also. Okay, so there are two ways of implementing pagination. Now, instead of solving a question, I have started giving you some GAN, but this GAN is important, okay? So there are two ways of implementing pagination. First thing is front-end heavy. That means get all the data in front-end and manage those pagination in front end, right? That's a front end heavy pagination. Other type of pagination is back end heavy, not back end heavy as per as, but back end does the most of the stuff, right? From the front end, you give the page number and how many items you want, and the back end will give you the result just for that specific page. But in front end heavy pagination, generally all the data is given to you and you have to build pages according to data, right? So basically you have to build everything on front end. Generally, most of the times in your front end interview, you are always asked to do front end pagination, right? There is a reason for that. I will explain you in the end of the, this video, because, interviewers want to evaluate your, skills, that do you manage the state well? How well can you code, right? So managing state, when it comes to front end heavy pagination, then you have to manage the state. You should know how to write conditions. You should know how to write use effect. You should be familiar with React basically, right? So it covers the overall React concepts, right? If you solve this machine coding round of interview. So that is what interviewer is expecting you to see. So most of the times it will be a front end heavy pagination. We are going to build the same. So suppose if we are given this API just returns 30 results, right? It only results 30 results. It gives you 30 items, but I can add, suppose if I want more items, so I can add a limit over here, right? So limit something like this, right? So basically, if I will call this API, right? Let me just show you. If I call this API, it will give me like 30 results, right? This will give me 30 results. But if I just say, right, if I just add a limit over here, limit is equals to, let's say 500. So it will give me whatever data it will have, right? Up till 500. So I don't think it has 500 products in it. So, but it will give you a huge amount of data. So assume, okay, see, it says that I have given you 194 products, right? So 194 is the length of data. So I'm just using this limit. See, if you don't put any limit, it will give you 30 items, right? If you don't put any limit, it will give you, okay, if you don't add this limit parameter, it will give you 30 items by default. But I am putting limit is equals to 500 over here because I want any dynamic number of data, right? So it's a very, dynamic API that way. So, so basically I'm just using this dummy JSON API. Interviewer will most probably give you an API instead of data. See, interviewer can either give you this data dump, right? It can give you this data dump over here, right? If interviewer gives you data dump, create a JSON file in your repository, right? Create a JSON file in your repository, dump it over there and use it from there, right? Use it from there. Suppose if the interviewer does not give you a data dump, and most probably he will not, right? Most probably interviewer will always give you this dummy JSON kind of an API, right? This is a very famous website, dummyjson.com, and here you get the APIs for get all products and a lot of other things. So assuming that the interviewer is giving me this API, right? And the interviews that has recently happened, all the interviewer give you this kind of a API only, right? Sometimes they give you dummyjson.com, sometimes they give you some other API which also returns some kind of products, right? That is a basic thing. Now, let's go back. Now let's start developing. So the first step, you have to always break down your question and the problem statement into small pieces and crack those small pieces. So the first thing I will do over here is I will call the API, get my products, show my products on the page. That is the first thing I will do, okay? I will show you how I approach the problem. This YouTube video I have made not to give you the solution. See, I could have given you the solution code, I could have given you the link directly. But I want you to see me coding and see how I am approaching the problem, right? This is what is the important thing that you should take away from this video, okay? The approach of solving the problem and how I am thinking mentally and how I am writing code, right? This is the thing that you have to understand. That will help you crack your machine coding interviews. Not the code. Code is not important. Important is how I am approaching the problem. So the first thing, that is the first goal in my mind, is I will make an API call, get all the data, show the products on the web page. Then I will think about pagination. Okay. So this is the first step. How do you call the API, get the data? Okay. So let me just tell you. Let's create a function. Let's say fetch data. Okay. So I created a function fetch data, and here I will make an API call. How do I make an API call? I can just call a fetch method, right? I can use fetch over here. Fetch takes the API name. This is a get call, so I am calling it like this, right? Now it will return me a promise. So fetch always returns you a promise. You already know that. If you know that, if you don't know about it, go watch the promise video on Namaste JavaScript series, right? Namaste JavaScript series on my YouTube channel. You have a promise video. Watch it if you have any confusions regarding promise API, right? If you have any confusions about async await, watch that video also, that is present on my YouTube channel for free. Go watch it. Why not? That will give you hands-on practice about async await, because for handling this promise, I will use async await, right? So I will have to await for this data to come, right? And then I will have to use async in my function along with, suppose, because I want to use await over here, I need to have this function async. Once I have my data, I will convert that data into JSON, right? JSON. How would you do that? Data.json. Now, when I get this data over here, this JSON will contain this data, right? This result over here. So my JSON will exactly give me this data, right? Now, suppose if I have got this data, then I'll have to do something like JSON.products, and it will give me an array, right? Array of products, right? So basically, if I do JSON.products, it is referring to, right? It is referring to these products that I have got, right? These are the products that I have got over here. This is the products array. Cool. So now I have fetched the data. Now I want to render these products on my web page. How do you render this on the web page? So the first thing that I'll have to do is I will have to create a state variable, right? To store the products. State variable. How do you create a state variable? I will use a hook that is known as useState, right? useState hook. Initially, it takes the initial value over here, that is empty array, right? And then I will fill this empty array with my products data. Now, this is the syntax. People who are familiar with React already know the syntax. People who are not familiar with React, go get familiar with React. You can also, watch Namaste JavaScript. I have a course, Namaste JavaScript, on namastedev.com website. You can take that course. It dives deep into, I have dived deep into React.js over there. If you would want to learn React from me, if you want to dive deep into React, if you want to know how all this works behind the scenes, that's a very good course, right? I have put my heart and soul into building it. You can just go and check that course out. Okay. Not promoting it more, right? Let's just solve the problem now. Products. Okay. So I have products. This is the state variable. This useState is a hook that comes from the React library. Okay. So once you have got this products, now you have made this function which calls the API. Now, when my page loads, this function should be called. How do you add that logic? To add that logic, you use another hook that is known as useEffect, right? UseEffect hook. So this useEffect hook takes a callback function, and it also takes a dependency array. This, the second argument over here is dependency array. First is callback function, right? So this dependency array, if you leave it empty, that means this callback function will be called only once after my component has been rendered. Okay. This function will be called after my component has been rendered. I have explained you everything in detail in Namaste React about useEffect, about useState, about how to fetch data. Everything I have covered there. If you want, you can just watch that. Otherwise, you can learn from wherever you want to, but be good at useEffect. You are not a good React developer if you don't know how useEffect works behind the scenes, right? useEffect works behind the scenes, useState works behind the scenes. You should know everything, right? How these hooks are used, what it is doing behind the scenes, and all that other stuff, right? In my useEffect, I will call my fetch data function, right? So basically now as soon as the page load, this fetch data function will be called, right? And now what I will do is use effect, and this use effect should be imported from React. Just like we had this use state, we have use effect. Now, now as soon as the page will load, this fetch data function will be called. It will make an API call, it will get the data JSON, and now I will set these products, right? I will set the products with json.products, okay? So this is how you set the data into your state variable. So in my products, I will get my json.products, okay? Now this products contains the products. Now I want to render it off on my web page. How do I do that? For that, you need to be very good at your map function, right? If you don't know what is map function, again, you can go to my YouTube channel, map filter reduce video. Very, 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 very important. If you are a JavaScript developer, if you are a React developer, you don't know map filter and reduce, you are not a good developer, okay? You should be, map filter and reduce should be handy, right? It's like a daily tool for you, right? You should be very good at map filter and reduce, okay? So now I want to render these products on my web page, okay? So let's remove first of all this hello code sandbox. Let's give it a name of pagination or something, right? And let me just remove this also. Over here, I want to render my products, right? So how do I render my products? Products, right? Dot map. I will do products.map, and I'll also have to make sure that my products exist, right? If my products are not there, I can also write like this, right? If my products are not there, right, or products.length is 0, right? If my products.length is 0, if my products.length is, if the products.length, just give me a moment. If not of products.length, if suppose the products of length is 0, then what I want is just write down no products found or something like that, right? No products found, right? You can handle this case, okay? No products found, because handling this case is important. Otherwise your, API, your product will not render. Now I can just call this products.map, right? If my products.length is 0, it will just say no products found. Otherwise, it will map through the products. Now, once it maps to the product, for each product, I want to create some, I want to create the HTML, right? So now what I will do is, now what is coming into my mind, that I need to develop a card for each product. To develop a card for each product, I can either write JSX over here, but what I will do is, here you have to think like a senior engineer. You have to say, okay, I need to build a card. Let's create another component, right? So you should always create another component for, product card. I am writing it in the same file. You can create a new file as well, right? So I'm just writing it in the same file so that you can see everything in the same view. I can just say product card, right? So I have my product card. See, for each product that I will map, I need to create a product card, right? So this card, what will contain in that card? It can contain my image, it can contain the title, it can contain whatever you are getting about the product, right? Over here, see this, right? So basically this is the title of the product, this is the description, this is the category, this is the price, rating, everything, right? You can just, use this information and show it over there. I am just showing the title and the image. You can show whatever you wish to, right? So these are the two props that we will pass to the, to the component, right? Make sure you are wrapping this into, these curly braces, because you will pass as a prop from there, right? From wherever you will call this, right? And then I will return my product card, right? How can I develop my product card? I can just write it like this, okay? I can create a div. This is my product container, right? Let me give it a class name, product card, right? This is the product card. Now in the product card, I want to show the image and then the title or something, right? So how do you show the image? So I can show my image source. What is the SRC? SRC means the URL of the image that I will get, right? That I will get as a prop, right? I will get as a prop over here. And then I want alt, right? Always use this alt tag. This is very alt, this alt is very, very important. Always keep in mind that whenever you are writing any JSX, always use this alt, right? Because this is very, very important, right? Otherwise, interviewers will judge you if you don't use it, right? Let me just tell you. This is something that you should always know, that you have to use alt, right? Now, once I have this, I can also show, let me create a span. And for span, I will just write title inside it, right? So I can write title inside it. Now I have created a product card. You can also show price over here. You can also show, brand, and you can also show everything, right? Category and price and discount and all that stuff. I am not concerned about that for now. I can add as much as detail as I want, but I'm not adding that as of now. You can add it on your own solution. Okay. So product card is here. I have returned this product card. Now I want to use this product card over here, right? So product card, right? Now remember, whenever you are mapping onto something, very, very important, always use a key. You should never forget a key. This key should be some sort of ID or unique element that represent that particular product card, right? So over here, I already have ID. So I will just use my, p.id, right? This is what I'll use. Then I have to pass two more components, image and title, right? So let me just pass in image is equals to, and title is equals to. How will I get my image and title? Right? How will I get my image and title? So title is title, p.title. Image, where will I get my image? So over here, if you will see, here, right? Images. So images is an array. So, or thumbnail. Okay, I can just use this thumbnail, right? So I can say p.thumbnail. Okay. So let me just copy the name of this variable. Okay, let me just copy the name of this variable, p.thumbnail. Okay, so here I will write p.thumbnail, and in the title I will write p.title. Cool. So this is how, do you see this? Right? I have already I can already see these products on my page. Do you see this? And a lot of images did not even load because I have already, I have loaded 194, 200 products on my page. That is why it has created a little problem. Cool. This looks good, isn't it? Now I want to add some CSS to make it look a little better, right? So how can I add CSS to make it look a little better? Let me just add it. Where is it? Here is my style.css and app. Okay, so product card, right? So let's focus upon product card. First of all, let me make these images a little smaller, right? So I can add some class name to my this can product img, right? And then I can also add, okay, that's it. I think product img and product card. Let's go to CSS. In style, I can just give product. Okay. So I can just give product card, right? And always, you have to, in your interview, you will not get tailwind or something, right? You will not have, you will have to be coding in CSS. So practice a lot before your interview, because I have seen students who are good in tailwind or something, they every day use tailwind classes. And when they are asked to write CSS, they lack at it, right? They suck at it and it becomes a problem for them. So always be familiar with CSS, right? With writing the actual CSS, native CSS, okay? So now I have to customize the card. So first of all, I can say display flex, right? So I am writing display flex over here. Okay, and then let me first of all reduce the image product image img, right? product img, let me give it width and height. Width of maybe 200 px. How does it look? Cool. 200 px looks cool. And I can also say height. Let me make it square or something. 200 px. Cool. This looks good. Right. And then I can also say product card. Right. Now I can also say flex direction column. Right. Column. Cool. Flex direction column. And I can also say width of my product card is 200 px. Cool. Now this looks good. Now I want to do flex wrap. Flex wrap. No wrap. Sorry, wrap. Cool. Or let me not do flex column. Flex. Cool. They look good. Now I can also give it border, right? So let me give it border of 1px solid black. Okay. So I can give it border, and maybe I can also, give it some padding or something, right? And instead of 200 px, the image is 200 px. So let me give it a width of maybe 210 px, and let me give it a padding of, you can just, customize it your way. I can give it padding of 5 px all around, right? 5 px all around. Cool. So this is how I can do. Now I have got these products. I can also give it a little margin, right? Let me give it margin of like 5 px so that I can have some space. Cool. Now they are coming one by one, right? Let's just align it in, in a proper way. So how do you align it? On the parent of it, right? These are the products. So let me wrap these products into a div and give it some CSS. Okay. So I have to add it in a parent div. So this is basically products container or something, body container or products container or something like that, right? So let me just give it container, right? So product container, I would say products container. So I'm bad at naming. So I'm just keeping it products container. Giving this class name, you can give it a better class name if you have, right? So, okay, products container, where is it? Let me just copy this class name and my products container. Oh my God, my bad. It's not copied. Copy it. And then over here, you need to paste it, right? Products container, and I can just give it display, and then I can give it flex. Cool. So now they are coming one after the another. I can say flex wrap. Cool. So now they look good, right? They look amazing. So this was my first task. I have completed it successfully. This was the first major thing I need to do. I have created a good looking card, right? I think it is looking good. You can add more, more CSS to it, maybe make these title bold. You can add some, some price and all the other stuff. But I think this is looking good for now, right? So now what I'll do is I need to create pagination. Now I will have to think about creating pagination because I have rendered all the products already over here, right? This is not a good way. I need to create pagination. For that, I will have to maintain some state, right? What is the page number, right? How many products are there? What numbering should I show in the bottom? Everything I need to calculate, right? So for that calculation, I need to do some sort of calculations, right? So the first calculation should be, the first thing that is coming to my mind right now is how many products should be there on a single page? How many products should be there on a single page? How many? Let's say 10. Okay. Let's assume that there should be 10 products on a single page. Okay. So for that, you need to create a constant, right? So let's create a constant. I'm creating it over here. Constant page size, page underscore size. And always keep such data in constant, right? Page size is my 10. Suppose I want 10 products on my, on the page, right? Now I'll have to do some calculations, right? So total number of products. So let me just do some calculations. So total products, how many total products are there? Total products are my products.length, right? Products.length length. Okay. So this is my products, total products. Now what I'll have to do is I need to calculate basically number of pages. How do you calculate number of pages? So basically I'll need to calculate number of pages. So number of pages. Okay. So constant number of pages, right? So I'll have to calculate number of pages. So basically it is very, very simple, isn't it? You just have to do some division. Basically I'll have to just do total products. How many products are there? Suppose if there are 200 products, every page I have to show 10 products. That means there would be 20 pages, right? So something like this. So you'll have to do total products divide by, your page size, page underscore size. Got it? So total products by page size. So this will be basically your 20, isn't it? So you basically need 20 pages over here. Number of pages is 20. Now, when you will divide, right, this will give you in decimals, right? Always be careful when you are working with mathematical operations in JavaScript. It will give you in decimals. I want a whole number, isn't it? I want a whole number. So basically, suppose if there are 194 products, right? 194 products. I divide by 10. So it gives me 19, right? So basically, see, it gives me 19, but I really need 20 pages. So basically what I'll do a math.ceil over here, right? So if you will do math.ceil, I don't know how many of you remember this. If you'll do math.ceil, ceil, so basically this gives you a upper number, right? So basically it will give you 20 pages. Now I have got my number of pages. Once I have got these number of pages, I want to show 1, 2, 3, 4 till 20, right? Or whatever the number of pages are on my UI. So over here, let me create a pagination UI, right? So over here, I want to show 1 to 20. So how do you show 1 to 20? So there are multiple ways of doing it, but I want to keep it dynamic. So I will create an array. So I'll just show you how to do that, right? A lot of, lot of people get stuck at this point also, because how should I show 1 to 20? How? So basically I'm creating an empty array. So array, and I would give, suppose if I give it 10, that means I am creating an array of 10 elements, right? So I am creating an array of 10 elements, and I can say keys. So it will create an array of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? Basically, and it will start from 0, I guess, right? Not exactly, not exactly. Let me just move it to the top first of all, right? Let me move it here. Let me move it. Oh my God, my bad. To show it to you, sorry. To show it to you properly, let me move it here. Sorry, my bad. Save. Cool. So now, do you see this? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Over here, I have got this 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this I have got, right? So basically, I want to create this pagination, right? So this creates an array, right? This ... array of 10 that creates an array from 0 to 9, not exactly 1 to 10, but 0 to 9, right? So this is how you do it. Now what I have to do is, for each of these, right, I want to make it look better, right? Let me add some CSS over here to make it look better. So for each of these, let me just map it through, right? Let me just map it through each of these number. For each number, I want to create a, span tag. Let's create a span tag, right? So span, okay, my bad. Span, and in between, I want to show the page number. So basically your n, right? And then whenever you are doing map, always make sure you are adding a key, right? Cool. So I have got this span tag. Now let me just add some class and make it look a little beautiful. Page number. Not camel case. Let's just add it like this, right? So page number style. Let me just add page hyphen number, right? So sorry, page number, and let me add some CSS. Let me give it first of all padding margin, right? Padding of 2px. How does it look? Cool. It looks better. margin of 2px. I can give it border of 1px solid black. Maybe you can give it a padding of 5px, right? This will look a little more better, right? So I've given it a padding of 5px, or I can give it 10px also. I don't know, right? You can make it as beautiful as you want. So I have given it a padding of 10px. And then basically I think I'll have to wrap it. So basically the container is not taking the space properly because I have added padding and margin also. So let me just add pagination container, right? Pagination container. So see, let me just tell you, if you are running out of time, right now I'm not running out of time, I'm just solving this in front of you, right? But if you are anytime running out of time, so, always focus upon implementing the feature instead of making things beautiful. Important point to remember. See, right now, suppose it is not looking good. So I am focusing upon CSS because I am not concerned about time right now because I'm solving in front of you. But if you are concerned about time, always skip all these small CSS issues, right? So that's okay, completely. Do it at the end of the day, right? Once you have finished the interview or once you have finished coding the features, then focus upon CSS. I am just trying to make it look beautiful, but that should be the priority, right? So nobody is judging you for CSS, right? So I have this pagination container. I can give it like a padding of 5px, margin of 5px and all that stuff, right? Or maybe like 20px. Cool. Now this is looking better, right? So this pagination is looking much better, isn't it? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's up to you. You want to spend how much time on these, customizing and writing CSS, but I would say focus upon building the feature first. Now let's just, I have got this thing. Now I want to show only products. How many? Size 10, right? So basically see, so I am right now rendering all my products over here. I want to only render products which are there on the current page, right? So first of all, I'll also have to maintain a state variable for current page because see, current page can be different. Current page can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and that will change. So I will create a new state variable for that is coming to my mind, right? This is coming to my mind that I'll have to maintain the current page also, right? So current page set current page is equals to use state, and over here the current page can be 0. Initially the current page can be 0. Okay, so now my current page is 0. So if my current page is 0, so I don't want to show all the products. Now I'll have to think about the logic. How can I show only 10 products and then the next 10 on the next page, right? So suppose if my current page is so I know that, I can use a slice function, right? So I can use a slice function. If I will do slice of 0, 10, right? So this will show me 10 products on my page, right? This I know. It is just showing 10 products on the page, 0, 10. So you have to build some sort of a logic to maintain these values, right? So there are 10 products which are shown, right? So let me reduce the size of image a little. I want to see all my products on a single screen, right? So that's just my OCD to make it look better. Can we make it like 100px? How will it look? 100 by 100. Save. And I can just make it 110. Cool. So I am showing like 10 products over here, right? Or I can just make it like 160 and I can make it 150. So see, I'm just trying to make it look a little better. Cool. Now I'm showing like 10 products on the page, and let me bring this pagination down so that my UI looks consistent, right? Cool. X, and let me just get over here, right? So this is how it looks, right? So 10 products on the page. I am on the 0th page right now, right? 10 products. Suppose if I want to show the next 10 products, then this value should be from 10 to 20, right? From 10 to 20. This is how it should be, right? From 0 to 1, 10 to 20. This is how these values should change accordingly, right? So how will I do? This is the start and the end. So I'll somehow have to calculate the start and the end. So I will calculate start. My start is basically the initially my current page is 0, right? My current page is 0. So my start should be 0. If my current page is 1, then my start should be 10. So do you understand this? I have to calculate this start and end. So if my current page is 1, so my start should be 0. If my current page is, current page is 1, my start should be 10. If my current page is 20, my start should be, your current page is 2, then the start should be 20, something like that. So do you see this? Do you see a formula over here? Current page into my page size. So see, if my current page will be 0, then start would be 0. Current page is 1, my start would be 20, right? Into page size. So the start would be that number. And what should be my end? Right? What should be the end over here? The end should be my start plus page size, right? Start plus page underscore size. That's how it should be, isn't it? Cool. Works. Now these products that I should show should be start, end. Does it make sense? Does it make sense to you now or not, right? Does it make sense to you now or not? I have lost my pagination here. Maybe let me add this pagination on the top, right? Because otherwise I'll have to scroll again and again over here, right? So let me maybe add it on the top. That's why I added on the top, right? Now it is properly visible, isn't it? See, now I have got these values. My start and end I have figured out. Now what I'll do is, now let me think of my next target. My next target is, suppose if I click on this page, I should change my current page variable, right? This current page. So if I click on 2, it should change the current page to 2, something like that, right? One more thing is, I am showing it from 0 to 9. I should ideally show it, I should make it dynamic, right? I should show number of pages, right? So basically, number of pages. I have hard coded it to 10. It should be number of pages. Cool. So now my pagination should be like, see, 0 to 19 over here, right? So 0 to 19, because there are 190 products, right? So I can have 0 to 19. Let me make it a little smaller so that it looks better. So my page number container, right? Instead of adding, let me just add it 5px. Cool. Not 5px. Let's add 7px and then no margin. Let me see how it looks. 7px. 10px. Why is it looking bad? 10px. Cool. So I can just say 5px. Cool. Now it looks better, right? So I have to now, suppose if I click on any, right? Let me also give it margin. It is looking very ugly. 2px. Cool. Now, if I click on any, it should take me to that current page. How do you add it? I have to add a on click over here, right? On click, and then I can add a handle page change. Handle page change. I will call this function and I will pass in the page number over here. And don't forget to write it in this format. And let me write that function up for us, right? So constant handle page change is equals to a function. Now this function takes the page number n, right? This page number n. And then it will set the current page to your n, okay? So it will set the current page to your n. So once the current page changes, all these formulas will change and you will see a new product, right? So if I if I click on one, see this. Do you see? Now I can see different products getting rendered according to the page number. Amazing, right? Let me make the cursor pointer also so that it looks clickable. Amazing, right? So on the page number, I can give it cursor pointer, right? Cursor pointer. Cool. So now see this. If I go to third page, if I go to 15 page, if I go to 18 page, if I go to 10 page, all this is looking amazing, isn't it? This is what we need to build. This is pagination, my dear friend, right? This is what my target was. So I am just building it, right? Now let me also build left and right arrow, right? Let's also build left and right arrow over here, right? So basically, see, these are like page numbers. So I can also have my left and right arrows over here. So I can add span tags for that too. Span, this is my left arrow, right? Or I can give it a, let me give it left emoji. I can just say this. How does it look? Cool. Not this emoji. It doesn't look good. Let me give it left this emoji. Okay. Cool. So I have got this emoji. You can make it look a little better, right? You can import images also, something like that. I'm not focusing much upon the, CSS part of it. And I can also add a right arrow also, right? So I can add a right arrow. So let me add a right arrow. My God. Cool. Right. So I can add a right arrow. So how will I add a right arrow over here? So right arrow. Okay. So let me add this, or this arrow will look much better, isn't it? Yeah, this is looking much better, isn't it? And let me also put in the left, I can put that type of arrow. Right. This looks much better. Left. See, I am just spending this much time because I have time. In your interview, don't focus upon which icon should you use, right? So, okay. So don't worry much about it. Span, and let me give it a class name of the same page number, right? So that it takes its padding margin, everything. Page number. Okay. So I can give it the padding of page number, and I can give the same class to my right arrow as well, right? Cool. So I've got my left and right arrow also. When I click on left arrow, it should take me, if I click on right arrow, it should take me to the next page. If I click on left arrow, it should take me to the previous page. How will you write that logic? Again, you can write on click handlers on it, right? So I can write on click, go to next page, right? So I can call this function, right? Go to next page. And I can also call this number function, right? Go to previous page, right? So go to next page, and on the left arrow, I can say go to previous page. Go to previous page, right? And let me just add this constant go to next page is equals to a function, right? This is a function, and this function basically will set my current page to, right? It will set my current page to page plus one, right? So my previous state, see, now this is also very important. If over here you will do current page plus one, this is a problem. This is a problem of inconsistency. If you are thinking that you will do this, that means you don't know React properly. I have explained these small things very beautifully in Namaste React course, right? Namaste React course. I have put in efforts to teach you, but never do like this. Your solution will not work properly, right? So you have to always get the previous state first of all, and then you will have to change the previous state to plus one, right? Previous state plus one, right? This is what you need to do. And I can do the same to my go to previous page, and I can do previous minus one. Cool. This works. Now, there is one problem with this solution. Right now, I am on page 0. If I click on back, it will take me to page -1 and my code will break. See this. My code break. I have got some errors, right? I have to basically make sure that this left arrow is disabled if I am, my left arrow is disabled if I am on, I am on the 0th page. Okay. So I want to disable this, right? So first of all, let me change it from span to button. That makes more sense, right? Because I can disable the button also. Let's make it button. And inside this button, I can say disabled, right? Disabled flag. And I can disable it if my current page is equal to 0, right? So if my current page is equal to 0, this will be disabled, right? This will be disabled. Refresh it. Refresh my page. No products found. Okay, sorry, my bad. See this. Now this is disabled. Nothing will happen. This is disabled, right? You can change the cursor pointer from something else also, right? And I can click on the next. If I click on next, now see, this became enabled, isn't it? Now I can click on it and I can move around, right? Suppose if I am on my last page, then again I want my right arrow to be disabled, isn't it? Because I don't want to go to disabled, right? I want to add disabled. Okay, I don't have a button for now. I should ideally make it button, right? Instead of a span tag. That makes more sense. Even these should be buttons ideally, right? Isn't it? These should be buttons. Button, and I can add disabled, and I can add disabled equal to, it should be disabled. The right arrow should be disabled when my current page is equal to what? Can you think about that? Current page should be my total number of pages. Current page is my total number of pages, right? Total number of pages minus 1. Remember? So suppose if my total number of pages are 19, it starts from 0, right? And current page also starts from 0. Oh, no, not minus 1. Should be equal to number of pages, right? I hope so. Let's see. Let me go. And let me also create a way. See, I can go to next page now. Let me also show whatever the page is active, right? I should add a color or something, right? Because see, I don't know which page is active right now. I should have an indicator also. See, all these things you have to add once you are done with your solution. I am just increasing my problem statement now. If you will make this for your interviewer, let me tell you, my dear friends, if you make this for your interviewer should be happy because you have implemented a lot of things, right? You have implemented fetching the data, showing it onto the project, right? You have shown the interviewer that you can deal with your state variables. You have managed the current state. You have managed the current page. You have also rendered the data onto the product, onto the app. You have handled the error case also. You have not handled the error case. Sorry, my bad. You have to handle this error case also, right? I have not handled the error case for now, right? But you should handle the error case also. Basically use a try catch block whenever you are using async await. Use a try catch block, right? Wrap your code inside try catch block so that if there are errors, you can handle those errors also and display it onto the user. So the interviewer can ask you to add complex things. If you will solve this much also, your interviewer should be happy and it's good. But to impress your interviewers, you can do small things that I am doing right now. Basically, you can show them which page you are active on. You can change the CSS or something, right? Because see, right now I don't know which page I am on, right? So you can basically, what you can do is, you can just go and highlight, right? You can add the class name. If the page number is equal to current page, so add some class name, right? So you can add some class name. Suppose I would say class name is active, right? Suppose if I give active, and whatever my page will be active, what I will do is active. I will make the background color, or maybe background color to be blue or aqua. Okay, let's say. Cool. So whatever my page would be, okay. Now I have added the active class to all these things, but I want it only if my n over here is equal to current page, right? So if my n over here is equal to current page, then only add this class. Okay. So how do you write that logic? These small things, if you will do, it will impress the interviewer. Interviewer will think that you know properly, right? You know the code properly. Okay. So how do you handle this? So basically you can add a string concatenation. You can do it in a multiple ways, right? So let me do string concatenations for you. So now I will write some logic. First of all, if you need to write logic over here in this class name, you have to wrap it like this, right? And now I will add a condition. So suppose if my n is equal to my current page, right? Current page, then add the class active, right? Then add the class active over here. Sorry, my bad. I can do something like this. Just a moment. Cool. So then add the class active, not and. Basically, I'll do something like this, right? Then add the class active. Otherwise, don't add anything, right? And let me just wrap it inside my, this. See, now 0 is my active page. If I click on next, it goes to the first page. Do you see this? Amazing, isn't it? If I go on page 19, it should disable. It is not disabling because I have not written -1 over there, right? I knew I am messing up something, right? So basically, number of pages -1, right? Because the indexing starts from 0, right? Now I am on 19th page. I cannot go further. I can go to back. If I go to 0, my page should be disabled. Now I have handled all the cases over here. And if I want to go to a specific page, I can go to a specific page. See, these small features, if you will add in your code, it will definitely impress your interviewers. There is no chance it will not impress your interviewers. Okay. So I think I have done enough. You can do a lot more things inside it, right? This can have a lot more extensions, but you can keep doing it, right? Now, if I had to improve my code, I can improve my code a little more also, right? The first thing what I can improve is basically I can take out this pagination component, right? This pagination container, and I can add this pagination container in a separate component, right? This is the thing that I can do, right? And it's a good healthy habit to do. Okay, let me just show it to you. Okay, just give me like 5 more minutes. Let me improve a code a little more, right? So I would basically first of all, see, I'll create a constants file for adding constants, right? Always, to impress your interviewer, create a constants file, right? And add all your constants over here. What are the constants? Constants like your page size. Okay, so basically you can do it like this, right? Constants, you can just say export constant page size, and over here just import it, right? So where is my page size? Page size, right? Import it. So I will just import my page size from my /constants. Cool. The first thing improvement is this. Second thing is I can just export this product card also into a new file, right? So I can create a new product card, right? Or I can create a new folder components. Generally, you should do like this, right? So create a new folder inside your SRC components. These small things matter, you have to stand out from the crowd. All the people, all the candidates who are giving interviews are not doing all these things. If you do these small things, the interviewers will definitely be impressed, right? Product card, right? I can create a product card component, right? Product card.js, and over here you can just add this product card, right? Just copy paste product card over here. I can say export default product card, DEFAULT, export default product card. Over here, wherever I am importing product card, where is it? Product card, where is it? Here is the product card, right? Product card. Cool. So I have imported this product card from my product card. Now I can also export my pagination, right? Let us export this pagination also, right? So you can just inside my components, let me add pagination.js, right? Pagination.js. Now I know this will break things up. Why? Sorry, my bad. Constant export. I'm just improving this. Exporting default pagination. Pagination is equals to, a component, functional component. Over here, I want to return some piece of JSX. This is my JSX that we have returned. Okay. What's wrong? What's wrong over here? Export default pagination. I can return JSX from this. What is wrong over here? Okay. What is the problem here? This is my functional component. Return JSX. Okay, I think I need to wrap this inside this. Now No. Okay, I did not end. I copied bad. Sorry, my bad. Okay, I was forgetting to copy this div, right? Sorry, my bad. See, these are the issues that you will face in your interview also. These copy paste things will happen, right? So don't worry. That's what I was thinking, that why it is complaining. Cool. Now it looks better, right? Now the pagination component is here. And in my app.js, I need to add a pagination component, right? Pagination component, right? So this is my pagination component that I have got, but this pagination component will require a lot of things, right? Because it does not have go to previous page, it does not have handle page change, it does not have go to next page and all that stuff. So you can pass it as props, right? So you can say go to next page, go to previous page, right? Or you can just handle page change. You can pass these as props. Number of pages, current page, everything you need to pass as props, right? Number of pages, comma, current page, right? So let me just pass this as props and let me wrap it inside these brackets and let me pass as props, right? Let me just go over there in my app.js and in my pagination. I need all of them, right? Sorry, my bad. Here. Go to next page, go to previous page. See, I need all of it. Cool. Okay. So what else? Is there some issue? Number of pages, current page, number of pages, current page. Cool. Now I'll have to add, go to next page is equals to, wait, just a minute. Number of pages is equals to number of pages. And then current page is equals to current page. Cool. And then I can handle page change. Or what you can do is you can write these functions, right? These handlers on the pagination component also, right? Over here also you can add. I'm not adding it for now, right? These are the improvements that you can do, right? Go to next page, go to previous page. You can just add all of it. Go to next page and this should be go to previous page, right? Go to previous page. Sorry, my bad. Go to previous page. Okay. So over here. Cool. So see, I can spend so much time on it, right? I can keep spending time on it. But do you see my code looks much cleaner right now, right? My code looks much cleaner right now. I can make it more modular, right? I can extract the data fetching logic onto a hook also, right? A custom hook I can create. I can do a lot more amazing things over here. But for now, I am just restricting myself to this. I think I have spent almost an hour in solving this. In your interview, you would only get 40-45 minutes to solve this problem. 5 minutes in the starting and 10 minutes towards the end for discussion. 5 minutes towards the starting for the discussion. And you will only get 40-45 minutes and you have to code the whole problem in 40-45 minutes. One thing you have to remember is you should be so good at your skills. See, I am coding live in front of you. I have got minimal errors because I have practiced a lot. That is the only reason. If you practice a lot, then you will not get a lot of errors. But trust me, right now, if you try to solve this problem, you might get stuck into small things, because just even adding the logic of like going to previous page, going to next page can eat up a lot of your time, right? And in machine coding round, time is very, very, very important, because you are running out of time always. You have to race against time. You have to build it very fast. So few tips that I would like to give is, don't focus much upon CSS if you don't have time. First thing. Second thing is, always build the functionality first, then focus upon CSS. Right now, what I was doing in my approach was, I was focusing upon CSS right from scratch, right? I was trying to make it look better. I was adding padding, margin, this, that, make it look good. But I don't have to do that, right? Always focus upon the basic functionality first. Because if you can't make this work, if you can't make these pages work, how much ever CSS you write, interviewer will not going to pass you up. This thing should work, right? If you click on it, it should go to different pages. If you click on back, it should go to different pages. Over here, all these things should be very good, right? Then focus upon making your code looking beautiful. Okay. So this is first advice. Second thing is, towards the end of interview, when you are ending things up, suppose if you are not able to optimize it, right? Basically, suppose if you are not able to refactor your code, maybe move your components into other page, always communicate that to the interviewer. Always tell the interviewer that if I would have got more time, I would have I would have added a new component to add this product card component, right? I would have created a new component for pagination. Suppose if you are not able to do in that case, right? And you can also tell that I have a lot more improvements that I can do in my code, right? If you tell the interviewer that, okay, I can do a lot more improvements and these are the improvement factors, interviewer will take it positively. That, okay, this guy is not saying this is the perfect code that he can write. He can write even perfect code if given time. Always use the sentences like this. If I were given more time, I could have added these go-to functionalities, right? These handlers into pagination component only. That would have made the code look much cleaner. Now, when you will say this, the interviewer says, oh, he is a good developer. He knows how you can optimize this code even further. If I would have got more time, I would have added more accessibility. Right now, I have not added any accessibility parameters over here, isn't it? Our components are not accessible, isn't it? So always say, if I would have got more time, I would have added area labels and I would have added accessibility things into my components, right? If I would have got more time, I could have also made it dynamic. You might have seen a feature where you can show a drop down that on a single page. Right now we are just showing 10 components, right? 10 cards over here. Can I make a drop down over here? In that drop down, it comes 10, 20, 15. So suppose if I want to see 20 pages on this, 20 cards on this page, so I can select the drop down and then this constant page size changes to 20 or 30 or 40, right? Then it would definitely not be a constant. Then it would be a dynamic state variable, right? So you should know all these things. And be ready to face a lot of questions and cross questionings from interviewer also. The interviewer can also ask you questions like, why are you using use effect? Why are you using an empty dependency array over here? Why are you creating a state variable for this and not creating a state variable for this? These questions can come in, right? All these things can come in. But always communicate well to your interviewer. Tell your interviewer that if I would have given more time, I would have added a try catch block over here to handle errors, right? So if you will communicate well to the interviewer would know that, okay, in 1 hour, he has done a good job. He has done better than average candidates do. Because see, this is the problem statement that interviewer might be asking to a lot of people. And you have done better than a lot of other candidates, and you are also telling that you can improve even more. That is a bonus point. That's a bonus brownie point for you in an interview. Okay. So always communicate this to the interviewer and interviewer will be impressed. I think I have done justice to this program, right? Let me know in the comments that did I solve this problem well or not? If you were my interviewer, will you pass me in this interview or not, right? Comment it down. Also, let me know what more topics should I bring in upcoming YouTube videos. Now I am trying to be more and more active on YouTube. So please, please, please comment down below that what more topics do you want in from me in the upcoming YouTube videos. Please tell me that. And thank you so much for watching this video. Before going, just like this video, hit that subscribe button. And thank you so much for watching. Please like the video because that means a lot. It motivates me to make more videos. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next one very soon. Bye-bye.